evening, folks. This is T.R. Kelly from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine. Got a lovely mid-century model for you to look at today. Let's do a little fly around here. This is a good housekeeper. What does it say here? Housekeeper DeLuxe. Yeah. And there's your stitch length and your bobbin area right here. Class 15 bobbin, standard class 15 threading, and I'll show you, and beautiful two-tone mid-century styling. This is kind of a transitional shape between the old school curvy, what we think of as a Singer shape, and then the more modern squared off machines. And this is a really neat compromise between those two shapes. Just the design of sewing machines is fascinating in and of itself. There were a lot of this sort of machine made, and you'll notice that the badge is attached with two screws here. Let me show you that. And the instruction manual does not specify a brand. It shows the machine. I mean, this is this machine, but there's no brand listed. It's just an electric sewing machine, right? Now the reason for that is these machines were imported by the thousands, and then people would put their own brand on the front, and often they would stamp their brand there too. This just says Rose. I'm going to think that was probably the previous owner. Fine Japanese machine. The Japanese took a lot of American machine ideas and kind of improved on them and ran with them, something that Japanese manufacturers have been good at for a long time. Even the instruction manual is just beautiful to look at. Very clear pictures, good English, oiling the machine. So this is a basic straight stitch only, straight stitch forward and reverse sewing machine from probably the early 60s or late 50s, because that's when these colors were really popular for sewing machines. Singer used these color schemes a lot, the cream and mocha thing on their 400, 401A, that series of machines. If you want just a plain, heavy-duty, straight-stitch sewing machine, this Housekeeper DeLuxe, beautiful made-in-Japan Class 15 machine could be your machine. I'll tell you a few more things about it here. It does have its original wiring and foot controller, right? No holes, no cracks. A full range of speeds on this foot controller. Just see here. Just start some sewing. Let's turn it down to a small stitch length there. Look at that. Listen to the smoothness. I think I want to turn the tension down just a little based on what I'm seeing here. Just a little higher. And there's your reverse right there. Yeah. Okay. Now, all right, I want to show you some more of the neat, convenient features here. We'll talk about the drop feed. You know, on some of the more European machines or Singer, this is kind of, you have to turn the machine upside down and get to a screw or something. This is as easy as just turn it to the full left, and now you don't have any feed. Patch-o-matic, press or release. Now you can do free motion embroidery. Machine won't move the fabric. Back to silk or normal. And then we push here to get our full range of pressure on the foot. So incredibly easy. This machine has a what is it? Is it a 1.2 amp motor? 1.5, 1.5 amp motor. Now, if you know anything about sewing machines, or even if you don't, let me just tell you, that's a lot of power for a home sewing machine. With the correct needle in there, you want to sew some heavy stuff, you put a size 16 needle in there, you're going to chew right through it. Also, look at how high that presser foot lifts up. You can fit my whole finger under there. Probably don't want to step on the gas right now. But you've got a lot of room for heavy stuff under there. And with that 1.5 amp motor, it's going to go right through it. I've got a small needle in here, but let's see what we can do. And when you're sewing heavy fabric or heavier fabric, you want to go to a fully long stitch length. Always hold your threads when you start. Ooh, that needle doesn't... There we go. Look at that. Yeah! Right through it. How many layers? This is sateen, which is a very tightly woven cotton fabric. And there's the front of the stitch, the straight stitch there. Look at the evenness in the piercing power. And the white one on the back. And this is about 20 layers of sateen here. So, you know, if you're sewing tack and horse things, probably want something a little more heavy duty. But if you're sewing garment leather and denim and maybe making stuffed animals, teddy bears, things like that, where you need to go through big pieces of fabric, let me show you how slow you can sew on this machine. Also a key feature. Let's put it to a small stitch. And look at that precision. Okay, it's gonna, look at how easily it feeds. Reverse. And this is a nice heavy machine. I mean, it's physically heavy to pick up. When you push that reverse, you're not going to send it skating across the table. It comes in a pretty grungy looking case. Ooh, look at that. That is so even. It's a pretty old funky case, but it doesn't smell like mildew. What I would do if I was you would be put this in a period appropriate cabinet. If you're going to pick this machine up from us, we have a lot of cabinets here that it would fit nicely into, but if not, they're easily available at thrift stores for usually $25, $30, up to $100. Okay, you want to a few more things I wanted to show you. Here's your to wind a bobbin. Unclutch the center wheel, hold the outer wheel, turn it back, and that will take the needle out of the equation. Put your bobbin right there, and you would thread from here up to there. Bobbin's full, it'll tick off. Turn that back to where everything's tight over here, and you're good to go. Like I said, the machine comes with a great instruction manual. It has, oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Regular low shank feet, about the most common size foot you can get. And with a machine like this, you can get all kinds of attachments. Ruffler, binder, tucker, all of the great straight stitch attachments. So for a good, sturdy, basic, heavy-duty, quiet sewing machine, heavy sewing machine, this is a sweetie. If this one is speaking to you, send us an email and we will let you know how it can be yours. Yes. Show you that marked throat plate there. Beautiful. Okay, see you later. Bye.